Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, that isn't a feature, that is a fire. Printer ad that took 3 months. Emergency call for a non-emergency. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. That isn't a feature, that is a fire. Heard a story today that made me recall something from when I was in college working IT. Thought others might get a chuckle from it. In the early 2000s I was working IT for the university I attended. One day we were short our normal people that answer phones and put in tickets, so I was covering the phones for an hour since things were slow in the repair room. I got what was the oddest call I ever dealt with. Given that this is 20 years ago, I don't recall everything verbatim, but do recall that this is very close to how it went. Me, thank you for calling the IT department, how can I help you today? Professor, hi, this is Professor Smith. I need to know what button to press on my keyboard to turn off the smoke from my computer. Me, I am sorry, can you say that again? I don't think I heard you correctly there. Professor, yes, there is black smoke coming from my computer. My entire office is full of smoke and it is going down the hall bothering people in other offices. I have had several people come complain about it. I need to know which key on the keyboard I need to press to turn off the smoke, so that I can get my work done. Me, well, that isn't a feature, sir. That is your computer on fire. I need you to unplug it right away and move anything flammable away from it. It will take me about 45 seconds to get across campus and to your office. Professor, I can't turn it off, I am working on stuff that is very important at the moment. I just need to turn the smoke off. I don't know what button I pressed that turned the smoke on, but I just need to know how to turn it off. Me, sir, that is a fire. That is no button that you can press to turn on smoke, that is not a feature that any computer has or would ever need. Please, I need to hang up and get over to you before you burn the building down. I need you to please turn the computer off. At this point my supervisor is standing there from having heard me talking on the phone and was wondering what was going on. I finally told the professor I needed to give him to somebody else real quick. Handed my supervisor the phone and gave him a quick overview of the issue and told him to deal with this guy while I go stop a building from burning down, and took off running. I get to the building where the professor was at, I run up the 3 flights of stairs, and as soon as I open the door there is a haze in the hall. Somebody just points the direction I need to go. I get down the hall and the professor tells me that his computer shut itself off now, and he can't get it to turn back on. His tower was under stacks of papers, so I am surprised they didn't have something other than just burning electronics in there. Even as I was unplugging everything, he still couldn't grasp that there is a fire or something burning inside of his computer. He even made a comment to somebody that came in to see if everything is okay that he doesn't know why we would give people computers that you can turn smoke off and on. He never had a computer like that before, and that doesn't make any sense to have them smoke for. Even that person was puzzled as to why he thought that was just something built into the computer and couldn't grasp it was on fire. I live to think that all these years later he is still trying to find the button he pressed to turn on the smoke, and how some mean guy in IT wouldn't just tell him to turn it off without making some big deal about it. Printer ad that took 3 months. I was reading another post about printers and I brought back this from memory. This was back around 2007. I was supporting a product running on virtual mainframe on Solaris servers. One of the larger clients added a new BlazerJet 9100 printer in overseas India office. They were currently running the same printer in some domestic offices, so we didn't expect any big issues. I worked initially internally through their main customer service rep, but she was very pregnant at the time and went out on leave before anything got done. I got network to open port 9100 to the remote IP. That took around a week. I got system engineer to add printer to the production and test servers. That sucked up another week. At that point I was able to confirm printer setup and test connectivity. Everything was looking good. I got the printer added to the virtual mainframe and scripts I needed it in for printing. Depending on how the printers and OS interacted, I knew you would usually either run the print job through PostScript or directly to a LP command. So I ran a couple initial test prints setting with some basic settings I used to start testing. Reports were printing but the formatting was off. I was going through manually setting font pitch and vertical spacing and all this stuff that I usually never touched. I was running test prints domestically and everything responded exactly like I thought it should and reports were perfect. This is just mainframe reports, so there aren't any pictures or anything really that should be a big problem. The problem stretched on for weeks. Dealing with domestic and overseas, you run into issues when you have people in the office, and the time between testing something and when anyone even gets back to you. About a month and we even got a big conference call together for troubleshooting. We even had a rep from the printer company on the call. Same results. I would print to a domestic printer, no issues. I would print to the new printer in India and it wouldn't look right. I went back and started going through Solaris printing, and I found out you could generate a PCL file, what is sent directly to the printer, by using a debug switch in the LP command. Then I found a PCL viewer that I could use on my PC. Finally, I could reproduce the print locally. Although I didn't know the problem yet. Looking through what was being sent to the printer, I noticed that the VSI, vertical space increment, wasn't getting set the way I need it to be. Although it was fine for the domestic printer. It was right around then when the formerly pregnant worker came back to work, and she was amazed we were still talking about this same freaking printer. So I was tracing the print request through the model script for the type printer, and found the offending line. Since this was India, they were printing to A4 paper, and there was a line in the model script that hard-coded settings. You would think that would be the end of it, but no. I then had to prove to the systems engineer why I should be allowed to remove that line from the model script. Once everything finally got changed, the reports printed fine, and I wasted 3 months getting a printer added. Emergency call for a non-emergency. We have all had it happen. We are the technology janitors and should always be available to clean up all messes having to do with technology at any time of the day or night. Several years ago, about 11:30 p.m., and my mobile phone goes off, waking me from a very well-deserved slumber. Me, seeing that it is a work number, hello, this is OP. User, hey OP, this is user down at the office, and I just wanted to let you know that the main printer is out of ink. Can you come fix this? Me, okay. Is the backup printer on the other side of the department broken? User, well, no. Me, and this is an emergency because. User, well, I was told to call this number. Me, this number is my mobile phone, and while I will respond to emergencies after hours, it is to be used for emergencies only. User, well, this is an emergency to me. I cannot print. Me, okay, since you are declaring an emergency, I will call her manager, wake him up, let him know, and be down there in about 20 minutes to change the toner cartridge out for you. User, wait, why would you call my manager? Me, because you said that this was an emergency and are requiring me to respond to this immediately. I am required to inform the manager of the department when emergencies happen. User, but. Me, cutting her off, oh, it is not such an emergency to wake your boss over, but waking me up is fine and dandy? Tell you what then, you have 2 other options that I have painstakingly planned for to handle just such an occasion. Either you can 1, print to the backup printer on the other side of the department that I requested purchase of and your manager approve the cost of for this exact reason, or 2, you can look in the cabinet, labeled supplies, under the printer and find / replace the new cartridge into the printer yourself. It was placed there 4 weeks ago by me when I change out the last toner cartridge during the day during normal business hours, just in case the printer needed one when I am not around. I will leave this choice to your professional expertise. Good night. Hung up the phone. I do not tell you this tale to brag, but to give you the words to use when it comes your time.